Welcome to episode number 5 of the SurveyToGo basic training. My name is David. I'm going to be your host. I'm one of the scripting managers here in Dublo. And today we're going to talk about or continue with our main questionnaire scripting, and we're going to cover question number A4, which will include a loop in it. So let's jump directly to the question. And in our previous episode we covered A1 to A3, and in this episode we're going to script question number A4. And in A4 we want to ask a open-ended grid question about the brands that were mentioned in A2 and about the actual media outlet mentioned in A3 right here. So as always, I'm going to add this question in the relevant material, and I'll join you right after that to explain. So I've just completed adding the question, and let's go over the actual question and see what we need to do. So here is the A4 question. I've put it under a chapter, which is necessary in order to configure the loop, and I've added the question text here. And next we're going to need to replace this and configure the loop. So let's go ahead and do that. So if we look at the questionnaire, we need to loop over the actual brands. So for that, I'm going to select my chapter, and I'll select the loops tab, and I'll say I want to iterate by the scale, and I'll select my car brands scale. Alright, so this will loop this question over all the scales, and now I need to make sure I only enter for the brands that were selected in A2. So I'm going to say contains iteration index, or rather I need to put in the question validator first. So I'm going to say contains A2 comma my iteration index. And what this will do, that will make sure I only enter for the brand selected in A2. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to go to my A4 question and replace this with the actual brand. So instead of the enter here the brand select in A3, I'm going to put in here this symbol, which is used for piping, and in my start script I'm going to pipe that brand. So I'm going to put in here set text format request iteration name. And what this will do is it'll pipe, instead of the 0 here, the actual brand name. Now the last thing I want to do is only set the correct topic, the TV, radio, or internet, based on the answers to A3. So if we go and jump over to the questionnaire for a moment, we see that in A3 we ask which media outlet was available for those brands. So I'm only going to show that relevant media outlet. And for that, I'm going to make sure that I do a set topic visible request, and the topic is going to be 1, and only if contains choice, that's the function for multiple selection grids, and I'm going to say A3, and the topic is our current iteration index, and our object value is 1. So if that is true, I'm going to set it to true. I'm going to repeat this for my two other topics. And I'm going to start with set topic visible, request false. So I'm going to hide all my topics, and then I'm just going to set the ones that are relevant to be visible. The last thing we want to do is only enter this loop if with the same condition as we have in A2, so only if A1 does not contain the none. So I'm going to copy this entrance rule. I'm going to go over to my chapter. I'm going to go over to my entrance rules of my chapter, and I'll hit paste. So let's try this out. So before testing this, we need to just fix these three lines. So the set topic visible, we don't need this last parameter, as we already do that with the contains. So the contains choice either returns true or false, and that is what's going to cause our set topic visible to show or hide the actual topic. So let's go ahead and test this in our emulator. I'm going to jump directly to question number A1. And which one of these following brands are you aware of? I'm going to say Ford and Renault and Volvo. And then which one have you heard about? I'm going to say Renault and Volvo. And for Volvo, I'm going to say TV. And for Renault, I'm going to say internet and radio. So now we're entering A4. And now it's asking about Renault. And if you remember, we asked radio and internet. So I'm going to just put in some text here. And then for Volvo, we only said TV. So I'm going to say some data here. And so this is working fine. So in this episode, we basically covered how to both add a loop by going to the loop tab, how to iterate by the scale, add the entrance rule, and control what is visible and what is not based on the set topic visible using the iteration name and the iteration index. Thank you very much for joining, and I hope you visit me with our next episode where we are going to wrap up the first questionnaire, and I hope you'd like it.